Matthew 2:5. Hoi de epon auto, in Bethlehem tes Judaias, hutoskar gegratai diatu prophetu. Remember, right before this, Herod has asked the chief priests and the scribes where the Christ is to be born. And they, and notice in narrative, you'll often have the ha standing in for he or a hoi for a they, back and forth. He said, they said, he said, they said. So here that hoi is just basically functioning like an autoi, like a personal pronoun. So, and they said to him, notice how we have those first aorist endings encroaching on our second aorist forms. Remember, apon, normally we would expect the ending like that. Apon, that could be a first singular or a third person plural, but they said, and they said to him, but we're not surprised to see alphas sneaking in there. And they said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, right? In doing this, they're not reporting on some sort of research they've done by traveling around villages, but because of the scripture, what the scripture says, right? And in a moment, we'll see a quotation of Micah 5:2. But they answered him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it has been written through the prophet. And then we'll have the quotation of Micah 5:2. Let's look at that gegraptai for just a moment. Very frequent for scripture to be quoted with this perfect form of grapho here. Right? This is from the verb grapho. You see the reduplication. You see the my-sai-tai endings. That's a perfect, passive, indicative, third person singular. It has been written. And you think about the perfect tense, how it emphasizes something is done and then an ongoing state and or relevance, right? It stands written. So it's ideal when quoting scripture, because scripture is not only written in the past, but it continues to stand in an authoritative written format for the people of God. It's ideal in citing the scripture to do so with a perfect tense of grapho like this.